Hello, I'm Tom Shad. Welcome to this edition of History Through the Lens. We're doing something a little different today. We're not really stepping outside the Wavy building on this one, and we're not even digging into one particular event or subject matter that dominates these 25-minute discussions we have every week. It's going to be something more about what's coming your way over the next year. America is celebrating a very special birthday. It was 250 years ago this year that we became a nation. That's right. It's a very special anniversary, and we are kicking off something called Spirit of America 250. And, right? Did I get that right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
I'll make sure I nailed that. The voice you hear is 10 on Your Side's Nick Broadway, who has been tasked with doing a series of stories about America 250. And you think about this area, if you go back to 1607, Jamestown, 1619, the arrival of the first enslaved people to North America, and also the first democratically or longest democratically elected House of Burgesses, right? That first legislative body, and continually now the legislature in Virginia. On it goes, including Revolutionary War battles, Civil War battles, civil rights, and just social history in general. It's a plethora. So that's why we have Nick Broadway here to try to break down what he'll be doing over the next year. And I'm excited about this.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit jealous, too, because you do some wonderful work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And anybody should check out Nick's work on our Wavy YouTube page as well, and also every day on Wavy News 10 during our newscasts. So just tell me, what are you working on right now?
So what this is it's a company-wide initiative where a bunch of stations under our umbrella are doing this, highlighting local historically significant events to their area that matter to American history as a whole. And of course, we're doing it because what a great place to do that. And Hampton Roads is extremely rich with many, many, many historical events that continue to impact our country today. Obviously with Jamestown and all the Civil War battles and all the things that have happened on the Outer Banks, to things that are more like legends that are still trying to be etched into history. Something you covered and something that I'm covering this upcoming Friday. I don't know when this recording airs, so I don't know what this Friday means in the world.
This will be dropping on Monday, January 22nd.
Okay. So the story I'm talking about will have aired by then. The Betsy Dowdy.
Yes.
Yes. That's what's coming up for me as of this recording.
What was that, Mike? You said the 19th. Okay, I get my calendar straight. I don't have anything in front of me right now.
You're good.
Which is a total conversation.
Betsy
Dowdy, it's a great story.
Yeah.
And I talked to a wonderful historian from the Outer Banks who really, really gave me a wonderful interview about it.
Barbara, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Snowden.
She's wonderful.
Barbara Snowden. And my name came back to me. Good.
What's really interesting about that, and for those who don't know, she's sort of the our region's version of Paul Revere. Paul Revere, of course, did the Midnight Ride. The British are coming, warning people up in Massachusetts that, hey, get ready, they're closing in. Betsy Dowdy, 16-year-old girl, according to legend, was her and her family were alerted that Dunmore and his people are coming on down to Great Bridge, and they're going to take it. Which Great Bridge at the time, of course, very significant asset for anyone to have at that point in time. It was the major connector where you'd get people and commerce across from point A to point B. Not a lot of bridge tunnels back in 1775, right? And then again, it's according to legend, but the story's been passed down so many times, is that the 16-year-old girl took it upon herself to get on a horse middle of the night and ride it through the swamp nearly 50 miles to General Skinner's place out in Hertford and tell him the British are coming.
And Barbara said this has been documented many times over the centuries. It's just that they're looking for some extra...
They need more source material.
Some more source material, right.
You ask anyone in Currituck County who knows about this, they'll be like, oh yeah, totally real, totally happened. I mean, the story's been passed down there since it happened.
Right.
And there's some, like you said, some documentation. They
50-mile ride.
They need more. They need more evidence, I guess, to be able to get this in textbooks and stuff.
Right.
But there's enough to talk about it, and Barbara knows everything about it.
She is sensational. What a treasure trove. And I remember I posted that story, that little podcast on my Facebook page, and I got all these comments, and they were all about Barbara.
Yeah.
It says she is a treasure. All the people from the Outer Banks, the good people there, like just jumped on it, and we're so happy to hear her tell the story. But that is only just a tiny
bit,
microcosm, just a little bit of a tease for
Exactly.
everybody, what you're working on. Because what did you think when you first got the assignment? I mean, it's a daunting task. Were you overwhelmed by just the sheer, where do I start? Or was it like, okay, there's plenty of things I can start working on?
It's kind of both. Like, it's really easy and really difficult, because easy in the sense that I have like a massive amount of story ideas to choose from. There's just so much. I'm like, okay, well, now I got to set these up and get them on video somehow.
Right.
These are events that happened before we all had 4K cameras on our telephones. But of course, there's reenactments, there's museums, there's documentation, there's pictures, there's paintings, there's a bunch of stuff you can visualize this stuff with. It's just,
can you imagine
making all that happen is
if Benjamin
can be
Franklin had access to, a 4K camera on an iPhone, what he would do? Like, if you gave it to him,
put it on a kite and wait till lightning comes and zaps the thing.
I mean, no, I'm just thinking, I wonder if he would be so perplexed by it, or he would just dive into it and his mind would take over and he would figure it out in 10 minutes.
I don't know
about how it works. I don't know. I always have that kind of fantasy that, we put the technology in front of some of the great founding fathers, and you mean to tell me that you look at cat videos on this when you can be researching the entire world? I just get that kind of, feeling.
Tinkering with it, I'm sure, would be difficult, because even today, taking apart an iPhone is nearly impossible with the tools that we have now, right? Like,
even figuring out
the egg?
how it works, all the inventions since the kite.
Just be alien technology to them at that point, right?
Yeah, but anyway, I was getting off track. I was getting off
neither
track.
here nor there.
This is the problem, folks, when you have two media people, two reporters, anchors, television personalities who are talking about subject matter that is serious, and we sometimes go off the track.
They give us prompters for a reason. You see?
Yeah. Oh, there are no prompters in the studio. No.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, none. Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing. Makes you think a little bit more. But no, I mean, so yeah, you go through all different eras, because you can go back pre-revolution.
You can go pre-revolution. I mean, I'm going to, because there are the Native Americans who've been here.
Yes.
There were the settlers who came here before the United States was established, and
Correct.
all the events of the Revolutionary War and all the things that happened since then. Obviously, the Civil War, very significant to this area. All the things that happened with the enslaved people that were brought over here, and how their generations have evolved and such since then, and what has happened, and how we've evolved as a society and as a nation, particularly here in Hampton Roads, since all that stuff happened. So there's just so many options to choose from as far as historical events that have happened
into the 20th
that
century,
have shaped us and
civil rights movement.
Yes, exactly.
Virginia's right in the middle of all that.
Yeah.
It's just so fascinating. It really is. So let's see how much time we have left. We got about, we're coming up on a break already. You see how fast this goes? This is your first one, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Your first CTV special. Nick Broadway
feels like
me.
3 minutes, but it's been 7. Has it been 7? Okay.
It's been about 7 minutes. Nick Broadway joining me now in this special edition of History Through the Lens. We'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back to History Through the Lens. I'm Tom Shedd with my colleague Nick Broadway here at Wavy TV, and we were talking during the break about, we already did 2 stories together. I did a podcast on Betsy Dowdy, and you're doing a story I can't wait to see on her and that wonderful ride. And also the Battle of Great Bridge. I did like an unfolding news story, History Through the Lens, and that's on the Wavy YouTube page. Please look at it. And also Nick Broadway's doing that as one of his pieces. I mean, these are, of course, great events in their respective time periods in American history. Of course, Revolutionary War for both of them. But it was just interesting that when I was doing that and talking to the reenactors and trying to capture, I'm thinking, let's do it as a news story. Like I kind of fall back into 1775 and I find myself in Chesapeake and go, what's going on here? Right. And you at home are deciding what's going on here. We're going to explain this to you. We'll talk to the British in a second, then we'll go back and talk to the colonists and see what their problem is. Yeah. It was that kind of thing. And when you get the reenactors, I find in their element, they just they carry the ball.
100%. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, they're
It's a
able
lot
to
of
tell
fun.
the story really well. I mean,
And it puts you in their mindset.
they
right?
play out the story, so they literally bring you to the historical event that happened all those years ago.
Have you found yourself getting more of a thirst for history by doing this
Yeah.
and by
For sure.
opening up more doors and going down more little rabbit holes and things?
Because the more once you get into a rabbit hole on one of these stories and one of these things that have happened here, you get a million other questions that come up the more you hear about it and the more you immerse yourself into the story. And that, for the purposes of this segment, has spurred other ideas. Like the Betsy Dowdy thing is very much related to the Battle of Great Bridge because that was the very battle that she went to
Yes.
go warn the dude about. Right. So it all interconnects in fun ways. But no, that was great. What happened was you went to the reenactment over the weekend, and then I went to the ceremony that was actually on the 250th anniversary on December 9th, which was separate from the reenactment, but they still brought the reenactors to the museum.
Sure.
And they did a musket firing and all that.
And we didn't know anything about this either. We were just working on our own thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I had set something up with the museum and then you had set something up with the reenactors. And then like, okay, well, I'd be stupid if I didn't use the reenactment footage, right?
It's
like
all our property. We help each other. We share and share
worked
alike.
out.
We're working on the same team. Absolutely.
But yeah, the reenactors did a very, very good job at like sort of telling the story for me, so to speak. So they kind of narrated through what was a very significant battle for the American Revolution and what they said was Virginia's first significant
Correct.
part of the Revolutionary War.
35 minutes and 100 British killed or captured, and we didn't lose one colonist.
No, just one.
Injured.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
Injured. Yeah, it was
okay.
it was a casualty, but that colonist was injured in the battle. So it was an amazing victory for the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. And what's funny is the Betsy Dowdy situation is when General Skinner sent his soldiers up to Great Bridge. The battle was so quick it had already ended by the time that his people got there.
Wow.
And while that's not, they were still there to sort of help reinforce things at Great Bridge and be like, no, seriously, Dunmore, we're like, your goose is cooked here, man. Get out of here. This is ours now. So
right. And
yeah,
but little did
there.
we know there were many other battles to come.
Yep.
And many of which did not go as well as Great Bridge. But that's how history unfolds.
Yep.
So what else have you taken away? Have you also looked at somebody and learned more about them and you were surprised? You were either on the upside or on the downside about how this person really was in real life, or have you gotten that far yet?
Someone told me, someone who reenacts one of the British sailors, she told me that what's really fun about these reenactments and about exploring these stories are sort of the untold sides of it. We get the general umbrella scope of what happens, but the real stories are in like the diaries of individual soldiers and letters that they send out and stuff. Who are the people on both sides? What's their story? How does that all play into it? Because you got to remember that there's two sides, and there's people who are just trying to live out their lives on both sides, who have been brought into whatever it is that's going on.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Ken Burns documentaries, for example, and how he made great use of average people and their diaries and their beautiful language. I mean, a lot of it was so moving, and all those different. Civil War comes to mind right away. That got me kind of hooked on his style of documentary filmmaking, and if you make great use of that, you're going to have some wonderful pieces, because I think people relate to that, don't they?
Yeah. And that's the challenge, because we can't talk to these people because these are things that happened more than a long lifetime ago, so it makes that difficult. But they leave behind scraps of their lives. They write things. They leave behind journals and stuff. So
do you find yourself challenging yourself to try to put your consciousness in their time when telling their story or judging them, because we lived in different ages, different times, different mores. Technology was different then. Our outlook on things like politics and religion. I mean, these things were revolutionary concepts at the time, but now we take it for granted that we have a representative government, for example. Also, how treatment of women, minorities, all these things that always come up and get people really excited on both sides, passionate, sometimes angry, sometimes defensive. I guess we have to try to maintain some kind of 30,000-foot view. Do you find yourself challenged by that?
I mean, it's just like a regular news report we do today. You stick
Yeah.
to the facts, you stick to what happened, what was recorded,
Right.
and you report on it.
And then you find some interesting nuggets to try to, wow, give people more of a dimension of what this
Yeah.
person was like, which I think is always
Put more
fascinating.
personality into it and stuff like that. The reenactors make that easy because it's just like it's almost like you're talking to the people who were there, sort of.
Exactly.
So they make it fun. They make it really fun.
We're
And
talking
it's
to
really
this
fun
guy-
video to get to. So
Well, we're talking to this guy out in the battlefield,
Yeah.
you know, one of the colonists, and he's just like almost indignant at the questions I'm asking about why are you here fighting the British.
Oh, yeah,
And he's giving me
yeah.
this long laundry list of like, well, and he was like talking to a guy, say at a protest that we have here today. And why are you upset with, you know, this particular entity or, you know, whatever. And it just put me right in on that level with him. Like, yes, I pay taxes too. Yes. And I'm thinking I'm paying taxes of the crown. I'm saying, wait a minute.
right.
Let's get back to the 21st century, you know.
When I interviewed the woman reenacting the British, one of the British soldiers, I went back into the museum and tried to get someone from the Patriot side to talk, one of the Patriot reenactors, and they were mad at me for interviewing the British reenactor. They were like upset. They're like, "Oh, you traitor! You're giving her a voice. What gives, man?" Like, and of course they were playing around. I mean, I shouldn't like playing around. They were reenacting their character,
Yes.
but no, they were mad.
Well,
But not like really bad.
we have to take another break pretty soon. But I want to get in another story that I had about that was when I talked to the captain, the British captain who led the charge at Great Bridge.
Yeah.
And I said, "Why are you here?" And he said, "Why are you here, sir?" He was serious too.
Yeah.
We're going to take
get
another
into it.
very quick break. My guest today, Nick Broadway from Wavy TV, my colleague here, and talking a very special edition of History Through the Lens, America's 250th birthday. Welcome back to a special edition of History Through the Lens. I say special because we are staying in-house today with my colleague, Nick Broadway, working on a very special series of stories, Spirit of America 250. Of course, America's 250th birthday this year. Yes, we were founded in 1776. First question on your exam. Yes, there'll be a test after this episode. What are you working on now? You spent a lot of time on the Outer Banks.
Yeah.
And that place is rich with all kinds of interesting stories.
It is, and I've covered a bunch of stories there, both current events and historical things. What I'm working on for this series next week is we're doing something on the horses in Kerala, the history of them, specifically how they got there. Now, at Wavy, we cover them all the time when something happens or when there's new developments with the preservation efforts on keeping them there and keeping people away from them when they go visit our beautiful Outer Banks region. But
Keep that in mind.
but the horses, they're not necessarily native to the United States. I mean, they were brought here a long time ago, and they've been there for a very, very long time. How did they get here? What's the deal with them? And why is there such a huge effort to preserve their presence in Kerala?
Hundreds of years.
Yes, hundreds and hundreds of years. I'm pretty sure, and don't quote me on this, I should know this because I'm doing a story.
Well, you're
about
still
the-
researching.
Yeah. But someone told me they've been here before before 1776, before America was founded. So they've been here for that long. So
That makes sense. And if I knew the exact answer, I would give it.
yes,
But I don't.
I would. I don't have.
So, because I've just, I didn't research that, so I don't want to get in trouble.
Exactly,
I know
exactly.
people will watch and say, Tom.
Someone will hit us with that. Oh, actually, here pretty soon in the comments, right? But
Well,
we'll get there.
in the long 15 paragraph response.
Exactly.
But we love that.
we
because
welcome that.
We do, because people are engaged
Exactly.
and they're enjoying. I think history has enjoyed a renaissance. I think over the past generation or so. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I mean, I think just having the world of information at our fingertips has probably helped with that a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you can just look anything up whenever. So, but yeah, so that's what we're working on. We're heading out on Wednesday and talking to the people who, and by we, I mean myself and photojournalist Kevin Rom. We're going to go and
God, what a talent.
I'll be taken care of for
Oh,
sure by
man.
Kevin. K. Rom's good, man.
We
He's
say
good.
that about Kevin only because we know it doesn't go to his head. He's also one of the most humble people that I know.
Yeah.
A person who's it's usually the very, very talented people who are the most humble. And I've always found that, especially people who who are videographers and photographers, and
Yeah, he's like that for sure.
they're very creative, quietly creative, award-winning. I mean, okay, this is not the Kevin Rom show, but
So the people who are responsible for maintaining and taking care of these wild horses from a good safe distance, they're going to take us on one of their trucks and drive us out to where the horses are. We're going to go and get video of them and interview the people managing them about what the effort is like to preserve them and how it is they got here.
you'll get some beautiful, beautiful photography.
It's going to be a good day.
Yeah,
it's going to be
it
a
really
good
is,
day.
because they are beautiful animals, and they are wild.
Yeah.
We have this impression of these wild horses being so beautiful and majestic, and we see them in slow-mo, and I'm going to have a lot of great video. But
Rolling Stones wrote a song about it, right?
They did, didn't they? Couldn't drag me away.
No.
That's right, wild horses. But they're wild animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they are meant to be wild animals.
You're not supposed to, like, it is literally illegal to feed them. Like, if you try to go up and feed them an apple or something, not only are they not supposed to eat apples, specifically the wild horses in corral are not supposed to eat stuff like that. It is actually like against the law to like go up to them and feed them and stuff.
Don't want them to lose their
Part
fear
of
of
the
humans,
preservation.
and
Yeah,
keep their
exactly.
distance, and so they can thrive.
The big issue out there right now is, there's more travel to the Outer Banks, and that continues to grow, which is a wonderful thing. It's great for their economy, and it's been good for the growth of a lot of the towns out there. And of course, for the people who get to visit that beautiful part of the country, it's brought more people to Kerala, and that's brought more driving, more human infrastructure to within relative proximity to the horses. Big issue they've had recently is vehicle strikes. That's been a big problem out there for them.
We reported that many times.
Now, the issue of human interaction has gotten better because the message is getting out there. It's the vehicle strikes that are now the big problem. So, yeah.
And most people who go to an environment like that to enjoy, I mean, don't they want to preserve what's there?
They do. Most of them do.
Yeah.
I mean, from what we've been reporting on out there, most people have been good.
Sure.
And people are just generally getting better about it. So they have more signs up. People are more aware. Like, hey, they're here. Just stay away from them.
It's always the challenge when you increase tourism.
Yeah.
For the economy, you also want to make sure you don't lose what makes it a special place.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
they do a great job out there of doing that.
That's
They
good.
take good care of the horses, and they've been keeping the people educated on how to not interact with them. So.
This is education.
Yeah.
See, the history,
exactly.
and that's why I'm really thrilled to do this every week. They have me doing History Through the Lens. They asked me to do this. I'm saying, yes, I would love to do a show like that. And then you'll be doing all these stories, so we can actually work more together. Probably have more interviews like this one.
Yeah.
On
man.
one of the what you found out and some surprises you may have uncovered. And I mean, do you feel like you may uncover some new things when you go on some of these stories?
I mean, not yet. I certainly hope I do.
That's the fun part.
Yeah. I mean, right now we're starting easy. I'm starting off with some of the big ones. Great Bridge is a huge one,
Oh,
I think I learned a lot of stuff about Betsy Dowdy, but a lot of it's stuff that's, I did not go turn over the stones and show you the worms that have been hiding underneath the stones. Like, I haven't done that yet. I certainly hope to. It'd be a lot of fun.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think, too, history makes us humble and teaches us humility because of there were a lot of people who came before us who did great things.
Yeah.
And did nasty things, too. And we can put that in perspective and in context, and it all, it all weaves together to make the American story.
Yep. And these stories don't have to come from a textbook or a museum. They
Right.
could be personal stories, people who've like traced their family lineage or things like that. Hey, if you the viewer, have an idea for this segment, please email me, nick.broadway@wavy.com. Broadway spelled like the street. Let me know. Hit me up. I'm all ears, man. So yeah.
That'd
Hoping to do like I think there's 26 segments in total that I have to do.
26.
I need to hit the major ones, but I want to get a few deep cuts too if I can. So
Friday at 6 o'clock, right? On Wavy News 10 at 6, Nick's stories will air, and it's every Friday, isn't it?
until July 4th.
Until July 4th.
Yes, yeah, every Friday until July 4th, starting.
We saw Great Bridge
weeks
last week, and then this Friday coming up. Of course, when we air this, it'll already have
the
aired.
Kerala story, I
Kerala
believe, will
story.
be the story that airs next when you, the viewer, see this.
See this, yes,
Yeah,
on the 19th when this
Scheduling
when
and
this episode drops. And guess
Yep.
what, Nick? We're already out of time.
Nice.
Nice.
Wow, that was painless. It's
It's like you're sitting in a dentist chair. It's
like getting your shots or something. Like just get
Am I
over
that
it, you
bad?
baby. It'll be over with.
Oh,
It's already
man.
done.
Oh, come on, man.
It's just like that.
Do I strike you as that kind of interviewer?
No,
right,
you're not imposing at all, Tom. You're not imposing at all.
It's been wonderful.
This
Thank
has
you.
been good. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing some time with us. Of
course, man.
And coming into the studio for this edition of History Through the Lens. And remember, all of you, we make history every day.